Okay, everybody. As you can see, I wear shades. Somebody just I went through a fight with some priests and nuns back at church, and they threw some holy frag grenade and they just went on my face and like this. So it turns out my face was like this, so it went go effed up and shit like that. So our today's video is Belle Delphine's controversial video. I want to talk about that. Belle Delphine is known for her bathwater, Cornhub account, hamster protector, and now, in current events, she's known for her shock value content. A level of shock value went up high like Shadman's. Kind of shock value that makes people go freak out, question their motives and all. So, weeks ago, she posted something that people questioned her motives, and the full thing is on her OnlyFans. Basically, the content of her thing is basically a CNC, also known as consensual non-consent, or in layman's term, R-word play or rape play. People also noticed that she is dressed like a young child, and it's also pointed out that she's also promoting the pedophilia or the P word. Not the P word from Ben Shapiro, but the P word, the controversial P word. P word, yes. A lovely succubus, for someone who exposed to the grossest things on internet, I can take edgy shit, edgy humor, and edgy preferences, and I also have the love of arts in different platforms. Perhaps I have the ability to see the bigger picture on the current events, and here is my input for it. As you notice, people are quite shocked by this, because they never expect this kind of content to get published on her Twitter. It's like 0 to 100 real quick, and if you think about it, she's quite unpredictable when it comes to her ways. If you see the bigger picture, they're both consensual adults to have a role play about that. She did not encourage others to do the same. She's not harming anyone. I think people would be stupid enough that they'll do this in real life. This is why the P word or pornography is supposed to be for adults, because it's so complex to the fact that people should learn about consent. Days later, I checked my OnlyFans when the backlash happened, and she removed the content and she did a long post about on her Twitter account. And I have a screenshot, the TLDR thing about it, thanks from a certain Twitter account, and it says, "People thought she approved of rape. She doesn't. People thought she was dressing like a minor. She wasn't. Doesn't like people demonize fetishes. What you watch in porn doesn't represent what you want in real life. People thought she had to put a trigger warning on her BDSM pornography. She doesn't plan to, and thinks that it's ridiculous for her hardcore porn Patreon." And as much as I love to say that I wish she put a trigger warning on her on the beginning, but she did have a point by saying that she didn't need a trigger warning from the start because she is a pornographic actor now. Porn, by instance, is very complex to discuss, especially if how it affects the audience. Again, this is the preference of the audience. They can either stay or unfollow her from her shock value content, and they'll be on their safe spaces again. Because all I can see that they're pointing their fingers on the wrong person. I am aware that she got the power of influence towards people, but she did give us a heads up last year that she'll be doing pornography. We shouldn't be surprised that this is the path she's chosen, because apparently this is a kink that exists, and porn people cater it to the audience. That's their job to begin with. I think this 21st century we have broken the stigma that porn isn't supposed to be real. It's supposed to be just a fantasy, and people should be smart enough to know what consent is before engaging to any sexual engagements. Now let's tackle the problematic part. She has a huge audience, a lot of different people with certain experiences. She has everything. She has the influence, and she is very powerful towards that. She's known to be the queen of the simps. She's like PewDiePie now. She's very famous. She's been into a lot of popular YouTube podcasts and all. It's like she's built a bridge between porn and memes, or something internet-ish. I know policing something you love to do is wrong, but you must be careful about what you post, especially the minority of your audience are creepy cocksuckers who are also idiots who wouldn't believe this kind of kink is normal. But if you think about it, majority of us wouldn't think that way. We're educated enough that these kind of kinks are not real. It's only a kink. I remember Marilyn Manson became controversial because of his songs, but he's not responsible for the Columbine shooting. He also stated that I would listen to what they would have to say, and that what no one did. This would be the same thing for Belle's current content. She's not responsible for the behavior of these people who normalizes rape and pedophilia. She will continue what she loves to do and continue moving forward. In the first place, parents should be responsible enough to watch on their children's phones and teach them enough about consent and being respectful. It all starts by being a loving parent. We should teach children and be careful on what they see on the internet. We should give them information that they can digest because they're still innocent. As for the grown-ups, they're either a lost cause or just confused or misinformed about consent or being respectful. I know the importance of addressing the problem, but a long-term solution will be beneficial, and it all starts by parenting. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on IG, Facebook, and I do weekly live streams on my Twitch channel. Remember, life is always horrifying. JDV is out. See ya.